What's going on, you guys? It's be your boy Scotty by Nation TV,
Jamar 4.
and we're here for another episode of the Prelude. Okay, I know y'all aren't surprised because we don't normally do episodes of the Prelude on a Sunday. We don't really do that. The only thing y'all see me doing Sundays is talking about them trifling ass Real Housewives of Atlanta. And tonight, it wasn't really none worth talking about. I don't even know if I'm even gonna review the damn reunion. To be honest, I might just talk about it on my panel and call it a day because it ain't nothing to talk about, y'all. It just wasn't nothing to talk
If
about.
there hasn't been anything to talk about with them since 2017.
Yeah, I guess. But however, tonight we have a special guest in the building. He's handsome, he's talented.
He fine.
Um, Listen, I didn't want to sound like a complete thirst bucket, okay?
Look,
But
listen. I told you I'd be unapologetic with my shit. If they fine, they fine.
listen, anyways, but I'm the select of the two of us, but it's
Absolutely.
okay. Oh, okay. All right, so it's okay for you to thirst after these dudes when they come on the show, but I don't even act that way, and then you want to call me a slut. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a hypocrite, but it's okay. So, anyway, the person that so like I said, he's handsome, he's talented, he's very well mannered from what I've seen for the last couple of minutes. He's very well mannered or whatnot, and he has a story to tell. And he's on the brand new series from Chasing Reality called Chasing LA, and he goes by the name of Jeremy Copeland. So let's bring him into the building. Jeremy
What's
Copeland in the
up?
building. What's going
Hey
on?
y'all, what's good? What's going on? What's popping,
What's
everybody?
going on? What's going on? Thank you so much for coming on to the platform. This is our second Chasing LA interview. Now, we had Miss Alicia this past Friday, and she set it off.
Yes, she did.
Alicia's not
Like,
afraid.
Oh no,
she
she's not.
gave zero fucks that night.
She made me
Absolutely.
Hmm.
squirm like I've never squirmed before in my life.
So, shout out to Alicia. Um,
Hmm.
but as we've already given you, like, your own introduction, but we're going to allow yourself to introduce yourself. Tell us what it is that you do, because I know that's a long laundry list because you do a lot of shit. But
Right.
and then an interesting fact about yourself that people may not know about you.
Okay. Well, what's up, you guys? My name is Jeremy Copeland. I am a celebrity choreographer here in Los Angeles. I also act as well. You can find me, like they said, on Chasing LA. And I play a character named Zoe on Step Up on Stars. You can catch me every Friday at 8 p.m. on Stars. And an interesting fact about me. Oh, I don't know. I'm allergic to mushrooms and I hate the nerds candy.
You know what though? It's small, it's grainy, it hurts my
It's
teeth.
just like for what, you know?
Well, I have a lot of feelings about a lot of candies like that, but
Hmm.
nerds, I feel like that about Jolly Ranchers too.
Yeah. Oh, and I hate avocado. Yeah.
Same.
It's like pointless. And you know
It's like
they really push it on you out here in LA. Like it's like they think it's water, like no, for what?
LA's full of the health nuts who want to, go to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and all the plant-based bullshit. Girl, bye.
Yeah, no. Hmm.
But since you are in the profession that you're in, and I've always wanted to ask someone like you this question
Okay.
because I saw on Twitter some days ago that you expressed that you're very single, and I would imagine that someone who does this thing that you do might struggle with dating because I feel like if I were to say want to approach you on that level, I'd be like, what the hell would I have to do to have someone who has worked with like Beyonce and Mariah Carey and has done all this shit on these different networks? What do I have to do to hold that person's attention in the dating world? So do you feel like people are ever intimidated by your occupation when it comes to dating?
I just wouldn't approach her.
Well,
See,
I have come to realize and learn that that really is a thing. Like people really don't really approach me like that. They'll go through like my best friends or like my friends to talk to me or ask around, like, "Oh, how is he? Like, should I speak?" And now with jumping put in the DMs, that's just, it's an easy way to kind of shoot your shot. And if they don't respond quick enough, you can just hit unsend. But just say hello. Like my resume is great, but I don't have an ego. I don't walk around talking about who I work with. Like 9 times out of 10, unless you specifically ask me or somebody else says it, you will never hear me name drop like out of my mouth. Like it's not a part of my everyday conversation. So you really get to like know me, and then as time progresses, you dig more into my life, then people be like, "Oh, I had no idea that you were doing that." I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I'm real chill. I don't have an ego when it comes to that. Just go and say hello. I'm like, we're no different from anyone else. Like credits don't really make you a thing, but I do understand how it can be a little bit intimidating to kind of approach a person because you don't know. A lot of times you'll feel like you're inadequate, or what can I bring to the table, or X, Y, and Z. And you're really just enough. Like some people are just in different spaces in their life, and that's where you are in your life. But that has nothing to do with if you're capable of dating. That's two different things.
I like that answer.
It's very true. I just know how it's just like the way that we as gays, black gays specifically, a
Hmm.
lot of people will value morals, street cred, power, whatever, with like your
Hmm.
worth as far
Yeah.
as partnership. And so we're brainwashed like that. So I'm like, well, shit. Do I have to be like the CEO of Viacom to even send a DM? Like,
No, you just, I'm big on, my big thing is like just have something going on for yourself. Because what can happen is, when you do date someone that has a lot going on and that's in the public eye, it can come, you can feel a little minute to the person, because it's always about them all the time, and that's not intentional. So I think it's very important to just, if you're gonna date someone that's in that field or that's doing that, that you're very steadfast and you're very like strong on what you do, and who you are as an individual. I think that's very important.
so Granted, I love that answer. I'm glad that you have, that mindset. So hopefully, if anybody want to slide in the DMs, myself included, go ahead and slide into the DMs.
Well,
You know,
there's a little somebody that's trying to do deal. So yeah,
there's a little somebody.
yeah. It's we'll see.
I just like his answer though. I can't get over the answer. I like the answer due to the fact that it gives you like a glimpse of what it's like to be a person of a certain stature, to have a regular person like ourselves try to shoot our shot at them. When people, like, for me, I know, for example, like for me, if I try to date a person, there's a lot of people that I wanted to date that had a lot, way more going on than I did. Okay, they have their wedding, shit like that. And so I just know last night some wedding coordinator tried to hit on me last night at the wedding that I attended that he coordinated, and gave me his phone number, and I have yet to text his phone.
Why?
I mean, if he approached you, then it must have been something that he liked, right?
Yeah.
It was. I don't know what it was, but you know,
We psych ourselves out. That's all we do. That's really all that it is.
Yeah.
But
pretty
so
much.
how? I mean, I assume that well, actually, I'm going to assume. How did you come up with in the industry of dance? Like, did you all just start with like how most people come with starting doing tap dance, jazz, into hip hop, and then make your way to Beyonce? What was that journey like?
So I was homeschooled growing up. So my mom wanted to just basically get me out the house, out of her face. So she put me in dance classes at Dance Former Studios in Atlanta. And, that's where I grew up dancing with like Sean Bankhead and Jaquel Knight and Christian Owens and all those, amazing choreographers now. Um, and I was like, oh, okay. So it started as something to do. And then I became like the dance captain at my church. And then we traveled, like going to different churches and stuff. And then I remember going to the Scream tour with like a Marion, everybody, and they were like, I saw the dancer named Danielle Polanco, and I was like, wow, she's so amazing. I want to try to take this up as a career. So I went to LA. I ran away from home, went to LA when I was like 17, and came here, and I just started my journey. I had like a vision of what I wanted, and I just like left. And I think a couple years of going back and forth, traveling back and forth, I ended up doing a film called Leave It on the Floor that was playing on Logo TV for a while. It's the LGBTQ film that Frank Gatson was working on. He was like, hey, if you do this film for me, I got you. And I didn't know what that meant, but it's Frank Gatson. He said, I got you. And then next thing you know, I got an email asking me if I was available for Beyonce's video Run the World. It was called Girls. It wasn't supposed to be called Run the World. It was supposed to be called Girls. Um, and so that's how I booked Beyonce. And I always tell people it's very important to take heed to the favors that people ask you, and really, your word is everything. A lot of people walk into jobs and they kind of downplay it if it's free or if it's not high budget or if it's not X, Y, and Z. And we didn't know what Leaving on the Floor was gonna do. We didn't know they was gonna go on local TV. It was just an experiment people were doing. But me doing that job, me doing that favor, because I wasn't paid for that, you know, made a life changing career move for me, and it got me Beyonce. So you just never know what opportunity will present the next.
I agree. Just because you and people still are, telling me that listen to is like you never know who's watching. You never
Yep.
know what connections people have. So it's best to just treat everyone with respect, love, kindness, because you never know when that can come back on you. Like you can be trying to do something to somebody that you may have gave $1 to
Hmm.
years ago. They're like, oh, I remember he did such and such. Yeah, and they could put a word in for you that could change your life.
Yeah. This whole industry is about word of mouth. I can only name on like maybe one or two hands, like, or maybe one hand, how many jobs I've actually got from auditioning. Everything has been word of mouth, a reputation. And so that's very important in this business because the industry is very, very, very tiny. You only really have to know about five people to have access to everybody. So I always tell people keep your word, just first impressions are everything. And you just have to be nice. People just want to work with you. Like you may not be the most talented, but if people want to be around you, they're gonna book you. So, you know, you just really got to be a good person, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people lack that nowadays because they're trying to be something that they don't even know themselves. But the rules are so simple. Just be a good person and be on your shit, and you'll see the fruits of your labor. Period.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that answer. That definitely gives hope y'all are listening. That's
I
some
hope.
real world advice. Don't be out here thinking it's cute to be all shady and cunty and think that's gonna get you that far.
Yeah,
Um,
that advice could go to us too for the things that we're trying to do. But we are not necessary. We're not shady and stuff to people. At least we try not to be.
unless it's done to me first. Once I'm already attacked first, then I have all bets are off at that point.
A little shade is definitely necessary. Like I'm not gonna say it's not necessary, but you have to know when to do that.
Very true, very true. What
Hmm.
what parts of that video did you choreograph? I'm curious. Of the Run the World.
Oh, I didn't choreograph none of it. I was just a dancer.
Oh,
I
you were
have
just in
not
the
yet.
video.
Yeah, I have not yet choreographed for Beyonce. Let me clear that up now. I have not choreographed
Oh,
for her yet. I'm putting in the atmosphere. I've danced for her. She's on my resume. I would love to choreograph for her one day. Hello, Joelle. Hey, Chris. Hey, Dana. Hey, y'all. Call your boy. you
okay.
know but I'm not rushing it. I believe in longevity. I don't think that anything is owed to me, so if it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen. If not, it just wasn't my journey. But she's still on the resume, so it don't
I mean,
matter.
I can only aspire to be in the same room. So,
Right, right.
I gagged. I
so
definitely gagged. hmm
ooh,
because she just kind of popped up, like she was just like, I looked over and she was right there, and I was like, oh, okay.
like, did you need to change your pants afterwards? Like, did you need to go?
No, I just like, so I go to this rehearsal. It's like far like down like LA somewhere in this big ass warehouse. And I just see all these dancers. I walk in, I see these people. I'm seeing people I know. We're all excited to see each other. And then like, I just look over and she's like bent over, like tying her shoe. And I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a thing. That's Beyonce. Got it. And so it was like, all right, time for work. It's time to just do what we got to do. So I will
Baby,
always remember
I feel like I would have went to cardiac arrest.
that.
Because especially if it's unexpected, I have to prepare myself to be in the same girl. Okay. But
Right.
I saw that you had on Twitter, you had just signed a deal or a major, cable network. Are you able to disclose any details about what that deal was about?
So how can I word this legally? Yeah, I just shot an episode of a really dope new show that's coming out through NBC Universal on the Peacock network, executive produced by Andy Cohen. So that should be coming out really soon. I also just signed my contract for a new series that's going to be on Amazon Prime as well. That's supposed to be really huge. So right before this interview, we just had our table read on Zoom. So yeah, I fly to Baltimore to film that on Sunday. So some good stuff happening.
Okay, but listen, we love a working man.
Yes, we
Hmm.
do.
Okay, yes, God, amen. I'm
You
like,
don't see many of those these days,
I'm trying to be like you because I just stepped my pinky toe into the acting world. I'm trying to be like you. So,
Yeah, look,
well,
I need people to do less of this and just work. Like, even with chasing, I have my opinions on that, but you don't really see me. You haven't seen me much yet on the show. Um, but that's just me. I wasn't gonna put on for the camera. I wasn't gonna be in unnecessary drama for the camera. I wasn't gonna do none of that to be on the show. Um, that I was just gonna be authentically me, and I just feel like if the show was called Chasing, we need to see a chase. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of chasing arguments that are stupid. For chasing a storyline that is stupid, that's non-existent. And I'm not seeing much chasing. Now, I am seeing. I love Andre's work scenes. Andre has been working a lot. I love seeing Fly King's work scenes. I like when I actually see people working. I feel like there needs to be an equal balance of the mess and the drama because that's what sells the show, but also work. And when people think about LA, they automatically have put us on a higher standard to see work. Um, so I just hope that in these next couple episodes that is edited correctly and you see work.
Well, since you mentioned chasing, because that was the next question.
Hmm.
How did you even come across the Chasing Reality brand, and what attracted you to the brand, and what made you want to sign on to be a part of the Chasing Reality brand?
Well, I had interviewed with Q, who was former cast member of Chasing Atlanta. He's the executive producer of Chasing LA. When I was doing my press tour for Step Up, I had went to his blog. I met him through my publicist, and I was like, okay, cool. So we kept in contact. I'm very good friends with T.S. Madison. So at the time, like we will always be at her house filming the Queen Supreme Courts. I will always see him there. So when he moved to LA, he reached out to me and stuff like that about different connects. And he was like, yo, I'm about to start, chasing LA. How do you feel about it? And, at the time, you know, pandemic had just hit. There was really nothing going on. Everything was kind of up in the air. And I had told myself, why not? Like, why not? I hadn't done anything that was really LGBTQ plus based. And I felt like, I have an obligation to do like I have to do something for the community. Like it can't just all be commercial. So I feel like okay, cool. Like I personally have nothing to really lose from doing it. So I just said why not? And I had a great time filming. Of course there were, moments that got a little crazy, which I will see this upcoming week. But as someone who's been in the industry for so long, I just know that's just how TV shows go and that's how things happen. But yeah, that's why I signed on. It was more like a why not? That's just another brand. There's 100,000. I don't know how many viewers are on it, but that's another 80, 90, 100,000 viewers that's coming to my page, seeing my Instagram, seeing my face every Thursday. So why not? You know, let's have a good time.
Okay.
That's definitely.
Um, have you before chasing LA? Had you ever done any kind of reality TV before that? And if you had, what
Hmm.
was it? And if you hadn't done reality TV before chasing LA, what was your overall opinion on reality TV itself? Because you know, a lot of the times where you have people that have brands or growing brands that have opportunities to be a part of such platforms like a chasing LA, or we could go even further up and say, oh, a Love and Hip Hop or Housewives or something like that. They are always apprehensive about joining a platform such as that. It's like a give and take. You know, it's good to
Hmm.
have people see you and what you do, and that brings more exposure to what you do. But at the same time, it can also, you know, highlight certain things about yourself that you wouldn't necessarily want to be seen. So, yeah, had you ever done reality TV before that? And if not, how did you feel about reality TV before you joined?
No, I'd never done a show before this. Everything I've ever done was I was a character, it was a script, and that was just that. And the reason why I was hesitant, you know, I did have my thoughts about it because you know I do have friends that are on Love and Hip Hop, and I kind of see how they kind of like plateau from that, and that's it. So I kind of see how it goes from there, but I know my work ethic and I know what I wanted to bring. Like I went in with intentions and I had intentional things I wanted to show on chasing LA. The biggest reason why I said yes is because it was a new city, a new season, a fresh start. Had they asked me to join Chasing Dallas, Chasing Atlanta, I would have immediately said no because they already have their stigma. They already have, you know, like they're already established. And so there's not. I feel like you know with LA, it was a chance to bring something different. I have a chance to kind of like start something new. So why not? You know, so that's why I did it because it was a new season and a new city. But no, I'm not really apprehensive. The thing about reality TV is I think people need to understand that there's only so much you can blame on the edit and only so much you can blame on what you don't want to be seen. They can only air what you give them. They can only air what you film. So if you don't want something out there, then don't say it. If you don't want something to happen, then don't do it. And yes, you will have situations where you have people that would dig up stuff and try to bring it up and you know do some fucked up shady shit. Dot 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 coming soon. Um, but
Oh,
you know, you just handle it how you handle it, you know, and you just move from there. But nothing in my life I've ever done, I'm ashamed of. There's nothing on Chasing LA that can come out that I have not publicly spoke about myself. So there was nothing. Again, there was nothing for me to lose besides people getting to know me more.
um, I know this wasn't a part of the question, a part of the itinerary that me and Jamar had, but since you
Hmm.
mentioned it, and I'm just nosy as hell, who are your friends on Love and Hip Hop?
I've been friends with Mr. Ray for a long time. I've known Zell for a long time. I'm friends with Milan for a long time. I've known Tierra Marie for a good little minute. So I have a lot of friends at the show.
I child.
Listen, I used to love me some Tia Marie. Ooh,
She
They
is
all
she
got,
just
now here's the thing. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. They all got their own. I don't agree where everybody do. You know, we all got friends that do dumb shit that we just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But if that's what works for you, is that if that's what you want to do, then live your life. Like I can't, you know, do your due deals. But you know, yeah, I remember when Zell had got the call for Love and Hip Hop, and he literally he literally was like, y'all. He told everyone that knew him, y'all are gonna hate me because I'm about to turn up because I want to be known on Love and Hip Hop. So I'm about to be extra. I'm about to fight. I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. Like y'all not gonna like me, but I'm gonna make myself known. And I mean, he did what he had to do. So, you know, again, some people come in with a clear intention of what they want to do, and it may not, to some people, you may wonder why. But I've learned in this industry, it it's no one's business why. As long as they can wake up every day and they look at themselves in the mirror and they're happy with what they're doing and happy with their careers, and that's all that matters to me. So, yeah.
Is Tiara as crazy as they appear on TV?
What happened?
Is Tiara Marie as crazy as they make her look on TV? Yes.
No, I just you know what I will say this. One thing I did learn about reality TV is once you give producers a glimpse of something that can be something for them, they're going to build that storyboard and focus on that. I had to learn that with just doing this show. Like there's a storyboard, and nothing scripted, nothing is manufactured. They never come over and say do this, da, da, da. Like that's I promise you that's not a thing that happens. But they will drive the storyline that way if they see something that's working and something that can work for them. And unfortunately, and one thing again I knew coming in is that as much as they want to say, oh, we love the cast and we have your back, they have a show to sell. And so it's you kind of give them the rights to kind of do whatever they want with the footage. Like even with the show I did with NBC, I was reading my contract, and it basically said we have the right to manipulate and use whatever we want to change it however we want, and you can't do shit about it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, damn. Okay.
Was that
It is what it is. That's just a double-edged sword of the industry and what you sign on to do. So you just have to be very careful of what you're doing.
I was curious to know what that project was. I think the project that you were doing with the Christmas special, because I saw my sister Monique Hart in the background. I'm like, oh, bitch, I know that
Yes, let
whore.
me say this. I love my producers and editors, but y'all were really lazy with that scene. Y'all could have put more. The whole Christmas visual album is on YouTube. Y'all could have pulled and showed everyone that was a part of that project. It would have made the episode better and it would have elevated the brand just a little bit. That's why I invited y'all to that set. It was Monique Hart, it was Manila Luzon, it was Sugar Kane, it was Blanca from Pose, it was Alex Newell, Wanda Sykes was the narrator, Kaylin
What?
Allen. Yeah, it was all those people. Michelle, number one Beyonce impersonator in the world. Gia Banks, who's also on the House of Tishy on HBO Legendary. Adisa Steele, who's a transgender model who's on Vogue magazine. But you guys didn't see none of that in the actual clip of what was shown. But that was Kalen Allen. He's a TV personality for the Ellen DeGeneres brand. He did a Christmas musical called For Christmas Sake. And he basically played Mr. Claus. So he meets this man who's Santa and he realizes that he's Santa Claus, and it's really cute. It's LGBT. It's all Black LGBTQ. And it was an amazing project I got to work on. Like I had so much fun doing that. I love being able to pull in just people in my community and just create great art. And I just wish that more of that was showed on the episode.
I
Mm,
yay to be a bitch.
right.
That shit sounds sick. Then
I
y'all
mean,
got
no shade, but shade. I was like, what? It
that was a star-studded room, and y'all missed all. I
was,
saw
and you
not
saw
Blake. That was
you saw a clip of them. Like a little bitty clip. Oh, Terrell Grice from the Terrell Show, the music artist Vincent. Like it was just so many dope, amazing people that I don't know. Yeah.
but since I want to be nosy, and since you're familiar with Drag Race and Legendary, are you watching Drag Race Down Under? And who are you rooting for Legendary season 2?
Here
Drag
he
Race Down
go.
Under.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Australia?
Yep.
No, I've never seen Drag Race outside of the U.S. I actually started watching. So I did 2 seasons of Drag Race as a pit crew, and then I danced. And I actually watched it like because I was doing shooting the episode, and I was like, oh, maybe I should watch the show because like what? I was on season 7 as a pit crew, and then I danced season 10. I'm American, whatever with Eureka, all that. And I do watch.
I need to
I
find the clip. I need the clip. Season what? Season 7, you said?
Season
And then
7.
you in the final episode of American Dancing with Eureka.
With Eureka, yeah.
I'm gonna look this up because
And Legendary. I do watch Legendary season 1. My house is on there. I am the LA father, emperor of gorgeous Gucci. And I do watch season 2 of Legendary because all of my friends are on the show. I've been in ballroom for over 10 years. Yeah. I walk Sex Siren and All American.
clearly, but what? Damn, I'm a little gagged right now. So, okay.
This is where I'll be quiet because I don't know nothing about the
Because
ballroom.
he's not an actual homosexual. He knows nothing about drag. Knows nothing
Got
about
it.
dairy.
Got
He,
it.
I just don't know how he has existed this long. But
Well, even if we don't understand it, just press play and go do something so they can get the views to just support the people.
I'm just trying
You
to
don't even
get
gotta watch. You don't even gotta watch it. Just press play and walk away.
it's sick that like the girls on Legendary, they be tearing it up.
Amazing. I've seen such a huge improvement from season 1 to season 2. Like literally, I have friends in every single house that's on this season, so it's hard for me to kind of like. I'm on edge like every episode, but I'm proud of them, and I'm glad to see that ballroom is now getting the recognition that it deserves correctly. Because I keep seeing a lot of carbon copy ballroom stuff. If I hear someone say "shablam" one more time, I'm
Oh
going to want
no.
to shoot somebody in the fucking head.
Or
And the
Death
correct
Drop.
term actually back in the day was
Or Death Drop.
"shawam" or "death drop." Nobody has died. Like, well, we did have someone that passed away, but like it's not a death drop. You know,
It's a dip.
that's more so known in like the drag world, but it's called a dip, or if you want to go old school, it was called a shablam. A shablam and a death drop is not a thing. So please have a good one in Rosa Parks because we don't want to hear it anymore. Thanks.
See, me and Jeremy can talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a great time with this banter right now. Because one of my friends actually got eliminated. Becky is nasty on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Nasty. And Stasha. Stasha works with Trinity over here. Traffic.
Oh, I know Stasha and Trinity. Yes. I've known Stasha
Girl,
since I met Stasha when I was 19. I booked Stasha actually for an episode of Step Up.
we gonna need you to give you just a quick crash course in gayness. Because there's so much content. But anyway,
yeah.
back to everything, because I was hoping that this interview would happen after whatever preview that we saw with the altercation that apparently happens between you and D. Hawkins. I know you can't say anything, but what can you say without getting in trouble?
What I can say is it is very disappointing when you meet an individual and you go into it with pure intentions, thinking that they are genuine, only to find out that they're just trying to create a storyline because this may be their only opportunity they may ever have to do anything. So, you know, since then, what can I say? I just think that people really should watch the enemies that they make. People really should understand that karma is real. And I hope that certain individuals, after the season is up, I hope that they look back and look at themselves and how they portray themselves and the things that they did. And I hope that they make the changes that are necessary. I cannot say that I respect that individual. And yeah, I wish, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I have no bad blood because I knew that coming into this, I was going to encounter one or two or three individuals that would do anything for a storyline or anything to get camera time or anything to be seen, like looking like you are in the casket in your green screen confessionals. Like, you know, it's just, you know, you do anything. Like when I no shade, when I met him, it was one thing, and it was another thing, and it's another thing. His career has changed 9 times during the season. Everything is coming soon. Quan actually took that from me when he said coming soon. I originally called D Hawkins coming soon because everything seems to be coming soon. I'm glad that stuff is happening. I'm glad that we're seeing music and we're seeing product. I'm happy for that. Um, but yeah, I don't respect anyone that has to do that because if you are this multi-faceted, talented person, interior design, music artist, clothes designer, you don't even have time to create a storyline. You don't even have time to create enemies with people. You don't have time. You don't have time to be arguing with trans girls, saying they look like men and jumping in trans girls' business. Stay out their business. You don't have time for that.
Oh.
So you guys will see next week what happened and why I went off the way I did. Because he really did some really shady, fucked up shit. And yeah, that's it.
Well,
Ooh.
Hmm.
Mm.
interestingly enough, D Hawkins will be on the show on Wednesday,
Oh, great.
and Alicia on Friday let him have it, just
And
unapologetically.
you know why though? Let me tell you why. Because one, we none of us knew each other from a can of paint. We've never. When I went into this, I just knew I was. I've been in LA for 15 years. I ran VIP. I went to top clubs in West Hollywood, so I just knew I was gonna know somebody on the cast, and I didn't. And I was okay with it. I'm like, okay, it's fresh, it's new. So everyone is coming in with genuine intentions, I'm assuming. And so the person that Hawkins had presented himself to be in the beginning was really sweet, really humble. Like, okay, he has this way about himself that will get you to open up and be, and like let your guard down. And then as soon as you let your guard down, he do some fucked up shit. Like, so yeah, everyone is gonna be at his neck.
Oh,
And
this
I'm gonna
is
keep my
really
foot on his neck
exciting.
until I decide not to.
Uh,
Because I don't have to search for a storyline. Chasing LA, I said this before, like my work scenes was gonna happen regardless. What I do in my life and the celebrities I work with and things I do, that was gonna happen whether the cameras were there or not. I didn't have to make up a studio scene. I didn't have to make up arguments. I didn't have to make up shit for camera. This is my life every single day. I just invited the cameras in. There's a difference. So would that be? And I'm saying this to be humble. The reason why I'm saying this is because my intentions has always been pure because I had no other. There's nothing for me to gain from anyone else on the cast right now. So I have no reason to kind of like do sneaky stuff and like I don't have no reason to. I think a lot of us that have problems with E. Hawkins is because we all genuinely thought that, we were friends and that we were cool. And, to go back and hear certain stuff or, he's showing people tapes and like do all this just stuff that y'all will find out. It's just like, what? But I wish him the best and I hope that, he's getting all the camera time that he needs. And I hope that he uses this platform to really propel his career, what he needs to do. And I hope that he, does well. But yeah, leave me the fuck alone.
could have thought anything you wanted, but you didn't. Ooh, you had to be tough.
Well,
So the friend she had me rocking
Mm-hmm.
like that, you were talking kind of cocky, like you had it going
What's
on.
okay, I
Do
did not
what you
anticipate that.
want, damn wrong to be cheating.
It's just, Eric, look, give out the disclaimer. Scotty, give out the disclaimer that we had to give for Alicia. Give out the disclaimer, bitch.
I have to go off camera to say it. All comments, all comments made by Jeremy Copeland has nothing to do with Scotty by Nature TV, nor Jamar 84, nor the brand that is the Prelude as well. We have nothing to do with what this man has to say. Nothing.
and I stand behind everything that I had to say.
We provide a free space and a safe space for any our guests to come on to speak freely about what it is that they want to discuss without any judgment and or ridicule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because maybe the girls will start talking and thinking that we have people to get. No, that's not what's going on here.
And then they'll be trying to attack us and put us on their on their social media, make it look
There's
like
nothing that I
this.
said today that I have not said to this individual in their face. So it's not
Ooh,
news.
I need the next episode then because that was probably that what I assume was like the meat of the season when I think a chair is getting lifted again and people are running them. Yeah, okay, because I need to know. We may have to bring it
Yeah,
back.
that's fine. But after you see what happened, you'll want to.
I'm like, we may just have to cut you back, just like a quickie, just like a quickie.
Hmm.
But what? How was it watching yourself? On screen for the first time since you had never done it. Like, how was that experience? Did you feel weird, like seeing your scenes play out on screen?
No, I didn't feel weird, really. I mean, how do I say this without sounding shady? I mean, as of right now, I barely have scenes. And that's neither here nor there. Scenes were shot; they just didn't make the edit, but we're gonna leave that alone. But no, I don't feel really feel weird about um seeing myself on screen. I think that I would like to see myself more on screen. I would like to see more cast members on screen. It's an ensemble cast. It's not an A cast or a B cast. So I shouldn't be seeing the same person having 10 green screens. I shouldn't be seeing the same two people in every 10 scenes. There's 10 cast members with 10 different things to offer. The episodes have gone from 30 minutes to now an hour. So there's enough to put everybody on the episode.
Whew. I, I mean, no lies were
But to answer your
detected.
question, I enjoy seeing myself on screen. It's cool. Like I feel like I have a wittiness about myself that's kind of like chill. And how I am on screen is how I am like off camera. Like I'm super chill. So there's nothing yet. I am very not nervous. I am very anxious about seeing these next couple of episodes. Um, but I don't regret it. So yeah.
They kind of made like a storyline where I guess Lo was trying to insinuate that she was gonna take you away from D Hawkins. Like there was like a romance thing going on. Like where did that come from?
Coming soon. Coming soon.
Shine bright like a diamond.
We should have just did this next week. I was like,
Coming
damn it, I was
soon.
hoping they was gonna put this in Thursday's episode. I'm like, okay, man, you have to reschedule for this weekend. That gives us a chance to give us one more episode. Maybe it's in there. It wasn't.
I just knew I was. I just knew I was going to be in this last episode. I said, "Oh, okay, well, let's try again next week."
Well, I mean, they kind of brought you. I think you were the first person introduced on the first episode.
Yeah, I was introducing the first episode because I'm friends with Q. I'm friends with Lauren. I'm friends with Mr. Ray. I know Oliver. Like we're all really good friends. So yeah, I love being in that mix of like welcoming, like and like I guess introducing LA. I think it's great. I will say that during like episodes 2, 3, and 4, I was away. I was in Atlanta working at the time, and I filmed a bunch of scenes out there that I hope make it, to the episode. So I actually wasn't even in town for a lot of the stuff that was happening. So I was watching as a viewer as well. Like I wasn't at the pool party. I didn't know at the pool party. I didn't know what happened there. I did go to the stairs. So it's funny because we don't know what they don't tell us what's going to be on the next episode. We watch with y'all. Like it's news to us. Um, so yeah, I think as the season ends and like we go to like the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth, whatever episode, you will see more of me and we'll just see how that go. I'm trying to keep it cute. That's what I'm really trying to do.
I mean, you don't have to.
I
This is
don't,
this is a safe
but
space.
I'm giving higher ups the opportunity to get it together. And that's all I'm gonna say.
That's fair.
If you
That's
put your
fair.
faith in them, you already know you're going to be disappointed. Because never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so since you're kind of watching like along with us, have you been watching like the previous like Chasing Dallas and Chasing Atlanta? Have you already
Yeah, so when
seen?
I got casted for it, I watched all of Chasing Atlanta, all of Chasing Dallas. I actually filmed a couple of scenes for the new season of Chasing Dallas as well. So,
Oh, cute.
hmm
What would you agree that there's something about Chasing LA right now that feels like it's missing something. Like there's something that's not there this series that's been present through, like say, the latest few episodes or series of like Chasing Atlanta or Chasing Dallas. Because something to me, it seems like they leave a lot of critical stuff out that are critical for the storyline, but they don't show it. And I'm just like, well, why not?
I will say this,
And they were all
and I
confused.
say this in all respect to the production. Um, there is a lot that's left out. There are a lot of things that, because I was there, I'm like, had y'all aired this and showed this, it will make sense as to why this happened and why that happened. But this is why the viewers are confused, because as a viewer, me watching, if I wasn't there, I'll be confused as well. Like for instance, the scene where Alicia said, "Oh, y'all went to the bathroom to do coke." There's not even a scene of them going to the bathroom. So what, like, what is that? Or even when Quan said, when Quan had that comment that everybody had an issue about, saying that y'all are dark and ugly. The comment came from King and Andre calling each other dark. You are dark. You are dark. So Quan was just repeating what they said, but the way it was edited, it sounded like he was calling them dark and ugly, but he was just saying y'all both are dark because they were throwing that word out at each other. But had they actually aired that, it would have made sense. I think that the people in here in LA, they're new. They're also new as well. It's a learning experience. At the time, first couple episodes, we were actually dealing with a shift in producers, a shift in filming, a shift in crew. Um, and so I feel like it kind of showed on the episodes. Also, they tried to cram so much in 30 minutes. I think that I think that they were trying to like get the viewers and showing the drama so fast that you didn't really get a chance to get to know us. Like the thing about Dallas and Atlanta is you actually got a chance to get to know the cast and you got to grow with them. LA just started like boom, 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 boom. Like, and even though that's how it started naturally, like we was at Hamburger Mary for like 3 hours. There was so much footage that could have been used to make it make sense. And as you move into episode 3 and episode 4, they're using it as flashback footage. But by that point, it's like, what's going on. So again, it is new. Every season one we see, there's stuff that can be better. I'm glad that they made the episodes longer. I just feel like next time do better. There's enough footage to actually make it make sense. Don't be so quick to want to just throw out drama, to get views up because everyone keeps saying you want to elevate, you want to elevate, you want to elevate. So we want to elevate. Stop trying to use the same formula because like it's not making sense, and that's why we got red for blood. All the past couple episodes, like it didn't
Hmm.
work out in their favor. So I think that
Yeah,
now they're seeing like what's working and what's not working, and hopefully it'll be fixed. And then we'll just see from there.
yeah. They really have been giving y'all the business. Like they have been giving y'all the business. And I thought that Chase and Dallas used to get the business when they first started out. Oh no. Chasing
Yeah.
LA takes the cake.
Well,
It's
that's the
just
only part I can say that I'm glad that I haven't really been in much scenes because I haven't been involved in the reading sessions. Um, But again, it's not just about me. Like I think about the entire cast as a whole. And I just want, as someone who does TV and film, a lot. Like you see what's missing and what could be better. It's all a learning experience. Not everything is perfect, and I hope they watch it and see what's working, and then go back and fix it.
yeah, because we had to ask Alicia about, of course, the Coke comment because I'm like they refer to that Coke comment so often. I'm like,
Yeah,
you could have at least shown us the Coke comment. So
right.
the fact that we had to ask Alicia to, okay, so what was said, what was the context, all of that, and then like, okay, so what was the context of the altercation that she had with Fran, and where that came from, and where the jailer thing, because it was just all happened at once.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what did I miss? Like,
Yeah.
it went from King Payne asking, okay, so who doesn't see it for such and such? And then it seemed like the next scene, him and Andre already started getting into it. I'm like, wait, how
Right.
did, what?
To be honest,
Well,
to be honest, that scene, Hamburger Mary's could have been the first 2 episodes, like first 2, 3 episodes. Like, if they really wanted to like make it make sense, it just could have been it could have been edited better because the footage is there. Like everything, all the questions that people have is recorded. It just wasn't put together in a way that viewers make sense. And because the producers are there on set, they know, so they're thinking that people know, but you have to really treat it as if they never, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, again, it's all a learning experience, and I just hope they do better with that. All I can
okay,
really say.
so I agree. Trust me. I think me and Jamar both agreed. So what's your opinion on all the drama that's been going on with our guest that was here Friday, Alicia? And did you feel a way when she said that you look like you would sell drugs?
No, that didn't bother. I mean, I did show up in like this like Jack. Like, no, she thought I sell drugs, so that just means I look like a nigga. So I was like, okay, cool. Um, but no, so with Alicia, um, at Hamburger Mary's, I'm not gonna lie as well. Like I wasn't really sure like what her vibe was because she was really quiet. She didn't really say much. And then we all went around the table and like said who looked like what and what their occupation could be. And some of her responses were like, it was like, oh, okay, wow, but I'm not a sensitive person, so it doesn't like I don't know why certain people got upset by certain things. What I will say is there was a switch. I think Alicia had enough, and we had got back because to be honest, I also went to the bathroom during that moment. No coke was done. I went to the men's room. They went to the women's room, and we all were literally just talking about how much fun we were having. Like, oh, everybody seemed super cool. Like that was a conversation we were having. We weren't even discussing Alicia in the back. Well, when I was in there, they wasn't discussing Alicia. And then when we got back, like it was a switch, and I think she just had, enough was enough. I did not agree with episode 3 when they were kind of like all jumping down her throat at the pool party thing. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like King Payne going up to her saying the HBIC, HBIC. Here's the thing: we are a new cast. We are all new. Even I don't care. Even with myself, credits, it doesn't fucking matter. None of us should be coming in saying we the HBIC of shit. We are amateurs at this shit right now. At reality TV, how you on episode 1 saying you the HBIC? Don't nobody even know you. It's no shot day. Like you really gotta you gotta build that, and so you open yourself to get read. So I didn't really care. Now let me preface that by saying I love King. I do love King, but you know, I didn't agree with that. I didn't like that. I didn't like the comments that D Hawkins made. I didn't like the comment that Jayla made. About her. Aren't you a drag queen? Like I just, I didn't like all of that. I feel like it was unnecessary. Um, but again, as I said, it's very interesting how you see people turn on when the light turns red, and how that switches. So, now, again, this is all filmed months ago. We've been filming since like October, so a lot of the stuff that you guys are seeing has been passed. We all have kind of like got past it or whatever. But now having to resurface it, relive it, redo interviews, and talk about it all over again, and do green screen, it does kind of bring up certain stuff. But I like Alicia. I like everybody on the cast except for the obvious. Um, and yeah, I didn't like how they were doing her, but I'm glad that now everyone is kind of cool. And Andre's my problem child. That's my accountability child. He a little tick tick boom. He a little crazy. Um, so yeah, I didn't really care for this last episode because I was there when we were on the steps and she was trying to apologize, but like the minute Andre hears one thing that he don't like, it's like woof, like he goes ham sandwich, and it's like fuck. There's no turning back. So he working on it.
Yeah, he was going a little. I'm like, I had to scratch my head because it was the statement that he made where to Alicia where he said, "You need to let me know that you weren't talking about me in your general statement." I'm like,
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
that's not how that works.
Yeah, no, it didn't make sense. Because
What?
Alicia had already said prior to, I was not talking about you. I was talking about XYZ. And so, you know, Andre, the thing about Andre, and you know, a lot of people that we all know, people like this, like they listen to respond. They're not actually listening to what you're saying. So, you know, before she could even finish what she was saying, he already knew how he was gonna respond. So yeah, I hope that gets better because Andre's very talented, and I would hate for his anger and all of that to kind of taint what he has going on because he is one of the people that I see that has work scenes that's actually doing stuff on the show. So I don't want his attitude and all of that to overshadow how talented he is because I actually think Andre is very very talented.
I definitely started liking him that first episode, but then it's just as the episodes have gone on, I'm just like,
Right. That's where I
And
was
I
with it.
and unfortunately I can't say that it's gonna get better.
damn,
Yeah.
don't say that. That gives me no
Well,
hope.
he's already said it now, child, so we might as well buckle it on up.
Yeah.
Let's see. But before I get to the next question, I will ask a question that's in the chat because I think that Jamar would probably want to know the answer to this one as well. And the question comes from Soulful Dog. And the question is, how do you feel about Imani Van Zant and her assessments of the show so far?
I think that Imani has made valid points of her assessment. Imani has been with the brand. She knows what the brand looks like. Um, there was some tease that was thrown my way that Imani actually was a part of the casting process for Chasing LA. That I did not know about. So that kind of raises a
I heard
question
that too.
mark. As to like a lot of stuff she was saying, it's kind of like, okay, well, if you were in charge of casting, how are you so oblivious to these people? But a lot of stuff that she was saying, I cannot say was incorrect. Like again, she is coming from a standpoint of she was not there. She can only go off of what she is seeing. And again, me as a viewer, if I was there, I would be confused as well. I do feel like even though you may not agree with what's going on, you still have a job to assess the episode. And I feel like some of her assessments, she just chose not to assess it. Um, it's just like if I have a falling out with an artist when I'm on a job with that artist, I can't just not choreograph or not dance because I haven't fallen out. I still have a job to do. So I do wish that, and I also would like for her to assess everyone. Imani has not mentioned my name not one time. Even the Kaylin Allen clip that they posted, she went through everyone in the cast, and my name was not mentioned as far as like an assessment. So I really would like for her to, just do a better job. But then again, the show was also only showcasing about four people, so the assessments is going to be about those same four people. Um, so yeah, I think Imani is entitled to her opinion, and this is what we signed up for people to love it, people to hate it, and that's just that. Like I still respect her for what she does.
Who do you think are the
Okay.
people that they're showcasing?
I feel like D Hawkins in every fucking scene on the show. I feel like he has 97 green screens. I feel like they show D Hawkins, Alicia, King Payne, and Jayla. Hershey had one like good episode, and that was it. I'm barely on it. You barely see Quan. You barely see Fran. You barely see Fly King. And I get it. Like right now, there's a storyline going on with those people, but I mean, the season's only 10 episodes, so there's no reason why the storyline should be happening for 5 episodes. And there's no reason why that somebody should be having a boring ass conversation for 35 minutes for an hour episode.
Who had a boring conversation for 35 minutes?
The people.
I mean, if it's the season I think that we're talking about, they could have reduced it a little bit.
Now, what I will say, okay, let me not be an asshole. It wasn't boring because there was a lot of personal stuff that was discussed in the conversation with D. Hawkins and Quan. I loved hearing both of their stories. You know, I didn't know that the situation with D. Hawkins and his dad. Like I'm not a complete like evil person where I cannot sympathize for a person because we had a falling out about something, right? Um,
Hmm.
but again, that goes back to we have an ensemble cast. There's no reason why these like it's too long of a scene because what's happening behind the scenes is we know that we're being told, oh, we can't use this because there's no room. There's room. You just gotta cut these people's other 10 scenes they have. Like there's room. Like there's no reason why there should not be room for everyone to have a fair shot on the show that you casted me for. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. So, you
Mm.
know, I'm
I
not
agree.
blaming anyone in particular. Because I'm not in the editing room, I don't know what's going on. I can only just speak as a cast member and say that as someone who has a lot to offer, I feel like that's not being showcased just yet on the show. But the footage is there. So, you know.
It makes you feel like people they typecasted you for like, oh, he's gonna be the pretty one, or the one that we're gonna get to have an altercation with one of our main cast members that we're showcasing to give them something else to do. So yeah, that's the
Well, the
thing
thing
about
about it is, again, you have people that go in and say, I'm going to cause drama because that's going to put me in the episode. And for me, um, I have a lot to lose. I can't, be out here acting a fool. So I'm not going to create a fake drama or a fake storyline for the sake of being in the episode. And if that costed me being in episodes, then that's fine. But what I did do was I made sure that I provided more than enough work scenes. I was actually told that I had too many work scenes. And I was like, but this is called chasing LA. So, unfortunately, a lot of work scenes will be moved to the side to continue on the storyline of whatever drama is happening that nobody gives a fuck about, clearly, because they read us every episode.
I've never been, I've never seen where they feel like, oh, you have too many solo. You're showing us too much of your hustle. A show about hustling, you're showing too much. I feel like as a production company, you would want to have as much content as possible. I mean, you do with it as you want, but record everything. Take it
And
all
again,
in.
yeah, again, it goes down to like, and I say this in a very empathetic way, that everyone is new, from the cast members to production, and I love Q. I love Q to death, but Q's never like, produced an entire season of a reality show. So it's a learning experience. And so, when you have these trial and errors and pilot season, pilot episodes, you're gonna see where you could have had room for improvement. And I just, I see places where there's room for improvement. I'm not at a point where I'm like, oh, I don't blame the Chasing Reality brand. I don't blame anyone. I just think that people need to step it up. You have material to put out great quality work. Put it out. Put it out.
Okay, well, what advice would you give someone that's trying to join a platform like Chasing Reality or Gemini Films or any other platform, LGBT platform that's similar to Chasing? Like, what would be the advice that you would give?
Um, just know your why, and that's just across the board, and in your in entertainment and the career and reality TV. Know your why and know what you have to offer. I feel like a lot of people come into this industry looking to take, looking to take the notoriety, looking to take the verified check, looking to take the followers, looking to take the popularity, but what are you actually offering? Like, what are you giving the industry? What does the industry need from you? Like, if someone sat you down and said, "What do you have to offer?" What can you say? Passion and ambition. Okay, bitch, we all got passion and ambition. Like, who are you? Like, who are you as a person? What do you have to offer? Because I just feel like a lot of people just want to be famous for no fucking reason. When I started dancing, we wasn't verified on Instagram. We wasn't going viral on, like, that wasn't a thing. Like, I got into this because it was something that I loved to do. I would do it for free, and as my career grew and as I worked with other people and my platform grew, I got notoriety and stuff like that. But that's why, again, I say I have no ego, because that was never my intention to begin with. I don't give a fuck about popularity. I don't give a fuck about numbers. I don't care about followers. I don't care about none of that. I actually lost I had 100K followers on my other page, and I lost it. And I have a brand new page now with 6K followers. And I see the people on the show like to read, but you only got da 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 da. Okay, well, you got 10K followers, but only 2 likes on all your photos. So make that make sense. So, like, people need to know their why and why you're doing it, and like, what's your intention? What's your intention? Like, why are you here? I tell this to my dancers all the time. Like, we're all booked. The industry is busy. The industry is booming. Like, it's enough of us. What do you have to offer? And it's okay if you say, I don't know right now. Like, spend that time and spend that journey on figuring out what that is for you. Because once you figure it out, you're unstoppable. That's why we have the Rihannas, we have the Beyonces, we have the Arianas, we have the J-Los. Like, they knew who they are, and that's why you have people who have a couple singles and they fall by the wayside because they don't know who they are just yet. Like, it really just shows the testament of character, and so many people are rushing to be in rooms and rushing to be in opportunities that they're not even equipped for. And what happens is you get into these rooms, you get into these spaces, and you're not ready for it, and now you burnt the bridge and now you can't really excel. But then instead of you taking it as a learning opportunity and growing from it, you blame the industry. Everyone's fake, everyone this, everyone that. You make yourself the victim of the shit that you just didn't know, instead of just growing from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, if the stuff I'm seeing, like my experience with this first season of chasing, reality season 1, I will still do a season 2, but now I know what to do and how things need to work out to be better for the betterment of the brand. I'm not going to just leave the brand and say, I don't deal with chasing reality, they're ghetto, da 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 da. No. You can't do that. Like, there's no progression in that. There's no progression in that. So, to answer your question, know your why. And if you don't know your why, figure out your why. And if you can't figure out your why, take a break and live life. And life will actually tell you why. Don't be in a rush. Like, it's no rush. For what? What's for you is for you. You can never lose an opportunity. You can never lose a job. It was literally never yours. Like, that's how I see it. That's why I don't rush things. That's why I take my time. And life goes like this. As a dancer, I have all these credits. But as an actor, I'm back down here. I can't use Beyonce and J-Lo and Ariana and Nicki and Kanye West and Mariah Carey. I can't use that walking into the actor's room. They're like, oh, okay. Oh, you was on Step Up? Oh, a dance movie? Oh, okay, cool. Like, what up? Like, what? Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to humble yourself. Every season in your life, you got to re-humble yourself all over again. Because we all got credits. Especially in LA, there's nothing to name drop. So what else you got? And that's why I'm so hard on some of my castmates, and that's why I read the fuck out of them sometimes, because I've had these conversations with them outside of the camera, and I said, look, you got to really be careful about what you want your brand to be, because once it's out there, it's out there. Like, that's it. Like, be intentional. And some people took that and ran with it. I love fucking Hershey. I did something very special for Hershey this season. Y'all will see that, I love Hershey. I love genuine people. I love Jayla. I want the best for my castmates because I'm in a different position than them. For them, this is their first opportunity to be seen and their first opportunity to, like, to blossom in their career. For me, I came on the show to really help and, like, offer, like, and use my resources to kind of, like, help build everybody what they need to do. That's not really being shown, but that's not going to stop me from doing it, because I didn't do it to be seen. I did it because I actually cared. So, yeah, I just said a whole mouthful, but
that was. Listen, I hope y'all watch this bag, because Jeremy up here dropping gems on you hoes. knows. He's getting you
He
Cause
there.
I've
is.
been through some shit. I did everything the wrong way. Like I literally I burned bridges. I like fucked up relationships with like amazing people. Like I did everything like anything you could do possibly wrong. I did it and had to rebuild myself up all over again. So if I can stop anyone from making those mistakes, even motherfuckers I don't like, I'm going to do that. Now, if you take whether you take the advice or that's up to me. But I lose nothing by helping you gain. Your success does not stop what I have going on. So I'm always gonna help and help and push people to be the best that they should be. And sometimes that push can be a little harsh, but you would much rather a harsh push than a harsh fall. So you know, just I can go on and on and on. I've been in the industry for so long.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
because I would love listen. I would love to hear about everything because that's something that Scotty and I are trying to find our own lane within the industry as well. And we take a lot of pride in what it is that we do here, and we try to be consistent with it. We try to have our own brand and our own name. And when people be trying to come up in there and saying some bullshit, it's just like, oh no, that's not what we do
yeah.
over here. That's not what we do over here.
Well,
So.
if they weren't talking, then you didn't then you don't really matter. So that's what I've learned. Like art is subjective. So if people have an opinion, I mean that something's happening. And the key to this is really just consistency. Like I tell this to people all the time, like especially people YouTube content creators and people and dancers, like stuff that like people that you see a lot of. I always compare it to like when you go to the grocery store and you see the whole bread aisle, you see the whole toilet paper aisle. Like there's room for everybody. Like there's enough room for everybody to grow. You just have to be consistent. It's not gonna happen overnight unless you want a microwave career that pops up like that and goes away. You have to be able to like enjoy the struggle. Enjoy only having two people on the live at the moment. Enjoy, production being a little ghetto in the beginning. Like you have to embrace the struggle. Like that's just a part of the process, and a lot of us try to skip that process,
Mm.
but you can't skip it. Like it's inevitable. Like people move to LA and they want to like skip the part where you're broke. Like I danced for literally everybody, every single body, and it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago that I stopped working. When I was filming Step Up, making a lot of money per episode. I still was working at Vera Wang on Rodeo Drive. Oh, aren't you that boy from Step Up? Yes, I am. Would you like this shirt? I don't have an ego because my bills still got to get paid. Stuff still has to happen. You have to drop your ego and keep working and keep moving and keep doing what you got to do and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. We didn't have.
You know
I'm 30
what?
years old. I didn't have Instagram, so I didn't know what at the time. I didn't know what everybody else was doing. I was just moving. So keep your 9 to 5. Keep your hustle. Don't be ashamed to say you going to work. Like what? You got a job. You got motherfuckers out here. They got 100,000 followers. They broke as shit. They can't even call themselves an Uber from the club. Priorities.
Listen, like all that stuff that you just said, that really applies to me and him because we've been doing YouTube for we say this on it depends on who we're interviewing because we said this when Q was on our show. We've
Mm-hmm.
been doing this for a long time. Jamar since was it 20 was it
13.
20 oh yeah, Jamar since 2013, me since 2010. We've been doing this for a long time and we have been quote unquote, you know, the underdogs for a long time. We have been quote unquote slept on the entire time. We have been, slow movers for a long time. And it wasn't until I went through a period where it was horrible and, it was, you going, you having a range of emotion. You're homeless, you're
Mm-hmm.
suicidal, you don't you're working a 9 to 5, but you still trying to keep yourself afloat
Yep.
while looking
Yeah.
for another place to live. All of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff was going on with me, and Jamar and I had been, we would always talk about how stagnant we were, which we were. I mean, we were allowing outside things in life stop us from being consistent with what it was that we were trying to
Mm-hmm.
do. And I told him when we had that conversation, I said, you know what, once because I was living out of a hotel at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, once I leave here and I'm in a place where I could do this like I want to, we're gonna hit the ground running, and that's what we did. Like, we actually we're trying to do a podcast. We're doing this. We have another live show, Boys Night Out, that we do, and he has the panel with Maddie Ranks. It's like we're doing
Mm-hmm.
everything that we possibly can to be more consistent and be more visible, and I think that's why we're in the place that we're in, because I mean, this is a job to us. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even feel good, but I'm here. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? After working my 9 to 5 from 7 this morning to 4 p.m., and I had to
Mm-hmm.
go home and lay down and dope myself up on medicine and then come back and do this. It's like people don't realize that we do work
Yeah.
9 to 5s, and this is a job for us too. So everything that you're saying, it just hit a chord with not only me but Jamar too, because we need to hear that, because a lot of the times we can get stuck on what somebody else is doing or what somebody else is
Mm-hmm.
saying, or you may not have the same numbers as that person, or you may not have the same followers as that person, or
Mm-hmm.
you may not have the same video quality as that person, or everybody wants to compare you to the next person instead of letting you be yourself. It's
Right.
all of that goes on. And me and Jamar are learning day by day that we know what our purpose is, and we are doing what we need to do. I mean, we were able to we've been able to get certain opportunities that we never would have gotten
Right.
in 2019.
Timing. It's all about timing. Like that's all your story. And like you just you use that story to propel your career and what you have to do. Like that's the fight. When you guys are sitting here syndicating and you on iHeart and you getting all this, you making these millions of dollars, like that's the stuff you're gonna talk about at those conventions and when you go in and tell other people, yeah, I was homeless. Like when I booked my first world tour, I after the first rehearsal, I was evicted out of my place. So I literally was leaving rehearsal, an opportunity I was supposed to be so happy about, not knowing where I was sleeping, like after those rehearsals. But I wasn't gonna miss that opportunity. Like I booked Beyonce, and when I booked Beyonce, I had left LA because I was homeless and I went back home. I was in Atlanta working at Pottery Barn and Lenox Law, and I randomly got the email for Beyonce, and I didn't even have the money to fly back. I had to borrow the money from someone just to get back for Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of my great opportunities, I didn't really get to savor like I wanted to because my personal life was shit. But that helped fuel the fire and it helped push, and that's what keep me grounded. So y'all just keep fucking pushing, like keep moving. Consistency is the key. Like it's happening. You're here. I'm really proud of y'all. Like I'm happy that you guys reached out to me and we got to make it work. I know we had to shift it a couple times because my schedule is like weird, But there's gonna be discouraging days. That's gonna happen, regardless of where you at in your career. It doesn't matter. People think, oh, once we get to this point, it's gonna be like no, like it's always gonna be a uphill battle. But if you don't keep pushing, then you really let yourself down. And it's
That's
very
true.
applaudable to pat yourself on the back when you're leaving your 9 to 5 and you're still doing your career at the same time when you're making it fucking work. That's the fucking hustle. All this yappa of drama, that's not chasing. What y'all are doing is
Yeah,
fucking chasing.
yeah,
That's
that's true.
chasing.
Because
So if nobody
I
ever
mean,
gave y'all motherfucking flowers, Jeremy Copeland has given y'all motherfucking flowers. Period.
I mean,
Hallelujah. You
it's
know what?
it's it's our fact. It's our fact. Which is why the last recap that I did on Chasing LA, when old boy was talking about people that throw boxes at Amazon and stuff like that, that made me feel some type of way when he said that. I mean, I'm not one to really talk about where I work on
Yeah.
camera or whatever, but I work at fucking Kroger. And I've been doing that for 4 years. So I work
Yeah.
at fucking
Baby, you
Kroger.
getting a
And
check.
Make your
I
money.
was a produce manager at Kroger. So, and I was doing that for a long time and still get decent pay. Like I work at Kroger and I make just as much money as a person, sometimes pretty much more than a person that works in a call
Right.
center job. I make more money than them, and I work at a grocery
Right.
store. I don't talk about my job like that because I mean this ain't what my channel is for. But if you follow me on my
Yeah.
social media, know exactly where I work. But I mean, yes, I work at Kroger. I throw fruits and vegetables out all day long, and that's just what it is. And
And
I
that's
get a
just it,
decent
and that's what it
salary
is.
for
That's what
And
it
you
is.
it. You
know,
Like
know?
I don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
there
Jamar.
is everybody knows, what Jeremy's talking about as far as like the trying to take the fast track to success. Like I'm sure everybody at some point has had to work hard for
Yeah.
something in their life, whether it be like you had to bust your ass and study for this test,
Mm-hmm.
but damn it, you passed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Or you had to work hard to build something. You had to uh, work hard to build a relationship. Like there's something that you had to put effort into
Mm-hmm.
over an extended period of time to get the success and reap the rewards, as opposed to getting the fast track overnight shit.
Yep.
So a lot of people understand that, and then baby, I was about to get up and start shouting. You girls that moved, because I moved to LA. I was in LA from 2018 to the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
You girls that fly out to LA with these empty dreams, thinking you're just gonna go there and just make shit happen overnight. Let me. LA will chew you up and spit you out.
Out. I
Okay.
always say this. Everyone that moved to LA was the best in their city. LA will literally chop you down to size, but it will rebuild you back up in a way that no other city can do that. But you have to allow that process to happen. You have to, again, and Lorianne told me this, embrace the struggle is because you're great. You have to embrace the struggle. There are times that I'm broke. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, cool, I've been broke before. Like, that's just what it is. I'm not going to be broke next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to, it happens. Like, stay focused and timing. Stop rushing shit. Because that's how you lose opportunities. That's how you burn bridges. You're rushing shit. And stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop changing your career every time you see, oh, that worked for them. Let me jump over there. That worked for them. Let me jump over there. My agent stays trying to put me on TikTok. I don't give up. I don't want to go viral. I want respect. I don't want to be in the club taking pictures with the celebrity. I want them on my resume. My mindset is different. We are two different people. I don't have a TikTok. I don't just like, no, when I put out work, I want it to be substance. I want it to have meaning. I don't want to just throw it out for the sake of content. I'm not going to throw out shit just for content. For what? That's not me. That's not me. And for some people, that's dumb. But again, know your why. Know who you are. Once you know who you are, you stand by it. And some people's why may take you a little bit longer. It may take longer, but it'll be worth it in the long run. And you can wake up every day knowing that you kept the integrity of what you wanted to do, and you kept and you know what you did. That's why I can stand behind chasing LA and what I did this season wholeheartedly, and I have no regrets because I was true to myself. And whether y'all got to see it or not, whether it made the episodes or not, I know what I did, and I'm proud of it. So
Absolutely. And it's just like I'm so glad and thankful for that experience that I had in LA, because it was, for the first couple of months, it was a culture shock. I was scared. I didn't know how. Like even just something as simple as, you mean I have to pay 10 cents per bag at Walmart?
I could have cursed Ralph out. Like what? 10
What do
cents?
you mean?
Y'all acting like
and,
McDonald's with the barbecue sauce. Like what?
bitch, and the rent is what for this?
Yeah.
This shoebox cost me about the down payment on a car.
Yeah. My apartment here, my one bedroom apartment here is a couple thousand more than my mom's house in Atlanta.
And baby, I had an apartment with 2 other roommates. All together, that apartment was about just under $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was right at the corner of Melrose and Cahuenga.
Mm-hmm.
Right by that Pavilions, like 2 blocks away from Paramount Pictures.
Yep.
And that was a blessing because the guy that I met was like the producer and worked with the director for a lot of the girls' videos for Drag Race. And I just happened to be out with Monique at the time, and I met them, and they were looking for a roommate. Right place, right time.
Right.
So, and that's attests to, again, of treating people well, treating people with kindness, because you never know what opportunities can be awarded with you just being nice and just being a good person. So I'm like,
exactly.
Y'all better take this lesson down.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling you from experience. A lot of the girls admire and have this rose-colored glasses view of Los Angeles, and girl, let me tell you, it is they will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Jamar has the being nice thing down pat. Me personally, I'm way too observant of people. It's I'm very closed off to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know that annoys him about me, but it's to protect myself.
I
That's what this is.
understand. You gotta open up your heart just a little bit, though, just a little bit,
You
just a little
gotta
bit.
allow people to just be who they're gonna be, because that's what they're gonna be anyway. So that you just gotta allow them to be who they are, and you give everyone that we enter in our life an equal opportunity to fuck us over or be great people. But everyone deserves an equal shot.
That sounds so
Unfortunately,
nice. That
it
sounds so
does.
nice.
You'll get it one day. It may just
Yeah.
take a little bit longer, but there will be an experience where you'll be like, "Damn, I am so glad," and I listened
Yeah.
to Jamar and Jeremy when he told me that.
Let me give you an example. Jamar and I could be, let's say I come to Atlanta and visit Jamar, because that's the plan anyway. So let's say I come to Atlanta, I visit Jamar, we go out somewhere, he's introducing me to someone that I have no clue as to who it is. Well, Scotty, this is my friend such and such, and he's this, he's that, whatever. And I'm like, okay.
Just a bitch.
Well, he's a nice person. You may like him.
Just
Then I meet the person, the first 30 minutes or so, I may be like this the entire time. Then after the 30 minutes is over, I may talk on my own, or they have to pull it up out of me. And then after the night is over, I'll be like, okay, they wasn't that
Mm-hmm.
bad.
I mean, at least you come around to it towards the end.
but girl, do I have to pull teeth to get that bitch to turn around to it?
I don't like people like that. So it's like when you try to bring me around a lot of people, especially people I don't know, and I guess it just comes from everything that I've been through in the past. I'm not as open as I should be to people. So it takes me a while to really just open up to people and give them a solid shot. Although I would want people to
Mm-hmm.
give me a chance,
Exactly,
you
that's
know,
what I'm saying. We gotta be
you
fair.
know, yeah,
We gotta be fair and give people a shot.
We're
I'm
working on
still
it.
working.
Because if I'm an introverted person, my damn self.
Mm-hmm.
So if I trust somebody or give somebody the good, the thumbs up, that means something. That means I have
Yeah,
sat and observed for a long time and tested the waters, and they passed.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
trust me. More often than not, but the success rate has been, more so in my favor than it hasn't. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. And
But
people
I
can shock
think
you. Like people can really shock you. People like when people meet me, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so nice." Like I didn't expect. Like I thought it would be something totally different, and I got something totally different. You just never know. We got to give people, equal opportunity. Like my social media shows like one thing, and you would probably think I'm like vain, like oh, that, but no, like I'm just super like, you know,
yes, even
sure.
when guys approach me, I'm still the same exact way. It's the resting bitch face, and I really don't be trying to do it, but it's
But you were in
like,
an industry where you cannot be that way because you will lose opportunities and you will get in your own way and lose opportunities because you thinking one thing and this person actually was coming to be a blessing and you hindered your blessing because you was in your own way. So we just have to have discernment and just watch it, especially in the industry we are in. We are not allowed to have a bad day. I'm not allowed to like when people come see me out and speaking. I'm not allowed to like pay it like because it's gonna come across a certain type of way. This is just what we signed up for. We are all personalities, whether you're on TV, whether you're YouTube creator, whether you're behind the scenes. We are all in the industry where we don't have the luxury for people to have a bad first impression of us because that's what it's gonna stay and that's what it's gonna be. So we have to just be very mindful of that. with our brands. Now, when it comes to people that's trying to date you and stuff like that, that's your own personal thing. But a smile and a hello can go a long way. You don't even gotta like them. Just say smile, hi. That's it. Go about your day. That's all you need.
I'm trying. Let's just say that.
Do
I'm
you take
trying.
tithes and offering? Because the gospel that's being spoken upon tonight, I'm trying to resist the urge to get up and just start shouting and start praise dancing in front of this damn camera. Because I'm like, baby.
Everything is reassurance. Nothing that someone tells us is new to us because God already told us. So when people say it, it's just like like I
Glory.
told you. Yeah.
It's
Man,
all
listen.
facts, but I'm still trying though. Y'all just gotta give me some time.
Go at your own pace, like we talked about earlier. Don't rush.
Yeah.
Just be less of a bitch every time you come across.
I'm not a bitch.
Just be a
I'm
little bit.
not a bitch. I just don't trust people like that. That's all. You know.
That's fine.
He'll get there, Joe.
That's fair.
Don't worry about it. But
Hmm.
I know we've talked a lot about a lot of the projects that you have coming up and things that you have currently going on. So
Hmm.
right now, what are some of the things that the audience and those that are watching would be able to support you in right now? Something that they can tune into, something that you may be selling, or what? How can they support you?
Well, again, I'm on season 2 of Step Up on Stars, and my season actually starts this upcoming Friday, at 8 p.m. every Friday on Stars. You can continue to support Chasing LA and all the Chasing brands. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's very entertaining. When I get off here, I'm actually on the way to Todrick's house about to cast some dancers for like this new album that he has coming out. So I gotta go over there and help get some stuff together. So support him and his endeavors. I know people have their own opinions about him, but I love him. I'll say this: there's no way someone who works with the people I work with will work for someone who doesn't pay their dancers. So he definitely pays us. He likes black people. So yeah, I just say just support. I want everyone to support everybody on Chasing Reality, on Chasing LA, like every D Hawk is included. Support everybody. It is a lot to put your life out, and just to put yourself out there like that is not easy. So just support, have compassion, give love. None of us have done it before. There's no rule book to this. There's gonna be mistakes that's made. We all say dumb shit that we shouldn't say. That we're like, fuck, that probably came out a certain type of way. Um, and just love on each other, especially us in the community, LGBTQ plus. Like we gotta love on each other. We gotta stop this bullshit. We keep wanting everybody else to respect us. We gotta respect us first. Like that's
Thank
where it,
you.
that's where it starts. Um, that's really it. Like just yeah. And support this YouTube channel. Make sure y'all share. It literally costs nothing to click and share. Like you don't even have to watch this bitch. Just share it on your page. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to support people. It costs you nothing. My stories, it's never me. I use my stories to promote and share other people. Like just do that. Even if you don't like something, just click it. That's why I say, even if you're not into ballroom and stuff, just put the episode on just for sake, just to give them the views. Like, we fought so hard to be in these spaces, and then it's very discouraging when,
Woo!
we tear down ourselves in these spaces. We want to be in the room, then once we get in the room, we got LGBTQ in the room that kicks us out the room. How the fuck that work? So let's just support and love each other, and what we expect from others, make sure that we are offering that. Don't expect nothing from someone that you won't do yourself. And that's it.
Woo!
Okay.
I reached
Well,
my limit. I had to shout. I just had to go ahead and just
yes,
get it
you
out the system.
did. Now, before we close this out, what we normally do at the end of every interview is play a little game where
Okay.
um, we list every person on the cast, and you have to describe them in either one word or one sentence.
Okay.
And no pageant girl answers.
No Miss America.
I think I know by now. It don't give that over here, but go ahead.
I mean, we say that because some of the girls like to switch it up and be real Black Universe at the end after they don't read them for filth the entire time. So
So with
Mm-mm.
that being said, I'm gonna start it off with Jayla.
I think Jayla is super sweet. I think Jayla has a very important story that I hope that she continues to show throughout the season. Jayla is raw. Jayla is real. You know, she's not perfect, but every time Jayla made a mistake, she came back and said, "You know what? I fucked up." No one ever had to call her out on her shit. She always was the first one to say, "You know what? I fucked up. I apologize, and I take my L." So Jayla's a real one. I love Jayla.
that's true. She did correct her own mistake with Alicia, so I did give her
Hmm.
props for that. Um, Ian or Fly King, I.
I didn't spend much time with Fly King. The time that I did spend with him, he's cool. You know, I think I know I don't want to give a fake answer. I don't really know him like that, but I go off vibes. And we shot an episode where he kind of had my back on something because something just didn't make sense. And he was like, "That sounds weird." So I like Fly King. I hope that I get to know him more on the show, like watching it, because I wasn't really around him like that. But yeah. I think he's cool. I'm not really into the suits, but do your thing.
You know
It
he had to
wasn't
get
shade.
that.
It's,
Yeah, that one little quick, real quick.
Fran.
they not cheap though. Them suits ain't cheap. So do your thing, Fly King. You got a budget over there. I don't know.
Fran is the next one. Fran.
I honestly like Fran. Like me and Fran talk quite often. We spoke today. Um, I really want Fran to really hone in on what they would like to do, just with their career in LA. I think Fran is still in the space of like trying to figure out where their niche is in the industry, and that's fine. I hope that you guys get to see more of Fran and get to, like really see who Fran is. Um, I like Fran. Fran is cool. I didn't like
So
that comment she made to Alicia though, and she know that she tried it and she admitted to it. She knew. I just want everyone to know when you are non-binary, especially when it's a slippery slope, you have to announce yourself as such in the beginning so that nobody, people can respect you and call you what you're trying to be called.
I'm so glad you said that because we had to mention that with Alicia. It's just like you can't feel like, oh,
Right.
I'm non-binary. It was like non-binary has no outward appearance. There's no way
Yeah,
to know that a person is non-binary. A
yeah,
non-binary person could look like a lesbian, a gay man, a
exactly.
trans woman. It could be anything.
Yeah.
So
But I
if you
think I
know,
think Fran learned from that moment. I think now Fran knows to address, to let people know what they would like to be called.
I agree. So the next person, I'll say Alicia.
Alicia, Alicia, Alicia is a sweetheart, but Alicia is with the mess. Alicia will be the first one to create a post. She'll be the first one to make a meme. She'll be the first one to like. I feel like Alicia has unfollowed me like 12 times. I'm like, I had to DM her like, what did I do? She's like, oh my bad, I just unfollowed the cat. I follow you back. I'm like, girl, I didn't do that to you. Alicia just moves so fast. But she's sweet. Like I haven't had any issues with her. I think that she is a little bit misunderstood. I do think Alicia, can take a little bit of ownership of some of the stuff that she does. I think she's sometimes she can not really see where she plays a part and why certain things are happening. Um, well, she's a sweetheart. We've had many conversations, and I think Alicia's sweet. So
Quan.
she can take some accountability for some stuff. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Quan.
I call Quan get up and go because Quan literally once this is done, I want to make a compilation of every time Quan has left the scene. Quan be out. Quan leaves his temper. Like Quan goes, he's another one goes from 0 to 100. But one thing I can say about Quan is I don't know if any of these scenes make it on the show, but Quan is talented as the fuck. I remember we shot a scene where he did his poetry and I was in awe. The whole room was silent. Quan has a story. He's been through a lot of shit. He's rough around the edges. I really fuck with Quan. He's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like we all do fucked up shit. We all own up to it. Quan is LA. And I really like Quan. Quan is in the mix of what you guys will see next week, in the next couple of weeks, as to what Quan really had my back in a situation that was fucked up. Um yeah. He gotta, I gotta pat him on the wrist sometimes, but Quan, what one thing I can't take away from him, he is super talented. And that just comes from the struggle he's been with and having a story. Like you can't fake a story. You can't fake struggle. Like it's real.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We only got like a little piece of his, poetry from the studio session that was in this last episode. So I'm hoping we get to see that a lot more on the show.
Right, me too.
The next person I'll say is Hershey.
Talented as fuck, funny. Hershey was actually very like, Hershey was the main one that was like, I don't know if people gonna like me. I don't know if people gonna like, I think I'm boring. Hershey really thought that she was boring. And Hershey is like a fan favorite. Everyone loves Hershey. Hershey has these one-liners. Hershey is funny. Hershey is talented. I love Hershey. Hershey is super cool. And I cannot wait for you guys to see what I did for Hershey on this season.
I can't wait either.
King Payne.
King Payne. Oh my God, King. I like King. King had my back on the interview with Armand Wiggins. Armand tried to say I lied about working with Beyonce, which I don't understand how he could have thought that. So I had to pull up some receipts and prove that. But I think King, I hope he looks at this season and knows he don't have to do all of that to be on the show. I love King down, but King friend, you have talked the most about being the HBIC, and you were the main one who ain't had not one work scene, friend. Now I do know a work scene that we have coming up because we all were there, but it's a lot of this and not a lot of working, friend. I love you down. But no, outside of that, like, King has a lot of stuff that he has going on. He has like this lounge that he opened up here in LA that he throws events, like he does like the Chasing Reality, like viewing parties every week and stuff like that. I just think that King was one that went into the show thinking that he had to do the most to be noticed. And I think it backfired on him. I don't think it went the way that he thought it was going to go. So hopefully he, fixes that and does better.
I couldn't have said that any better. Ooh, Andre.
Andre, friend, we gotta take you to Iyanla Fix My Life. Not Imani Van Zap. We need to take you to Iyanla and dig into. I really want to unpack where a lot of this comes from Andre, like his 0 to 60. I really would like to know like what his story is and why he is the way he is. Because I just don't want him to burn bridges in the industry, doing like saying stuff he says. Like the first day we was there, he made a comment which didn't make the show, but he was like, oh, I'm your stylist's favorite stylist. I know everyone in the industry and X, Y, and Z. Now, another fun fact about Jeremy, I worked on Rodeo Drive for 5 or 6 years. I was the head of visuals at D Squared and at Beer Wang. And I've worked with every stylist. I know from Marnie, Zarina to Rob. Like I know every stylist in the industry, and I had never heard of Andre. So you really have to be very mindful of when you say stuff like that because you can burn bridges. When a bitch act like they too good, nobody wants to help you. Nobody wants to give you opportunity because you good. You got it. So I want Andre to humble himself, take a humble pill, let people see the work. You don't gotta tell them. Let them see it. They'll see it because you're working. We see your work scenes. We see your work scenes. Just take it chill, take a breather. Anybody got it boom, like you don't gotta shoot nobody up in the sky, whatever he said before. Yeah, I would love to see. I want to talk to Andre more and dig into his story because there's something in there that he's trying to cover up. Because I see people go deeper than what the surface. So yeah. That's my problem child. I love Andre.
I think this is the last one. So we say, I don't know if you would agree, but the best for last, um, D Hawkins.
Oh no, y'all screens are black. Sorry, somebody had FaceTime me and y'all screens are black. Um,
Oh,
D Hawkins. Besides coming soon, I will say D. This is actually a personal message to D. This is a to D. D. I
Oh,
saw a glimpse of the kind and sweet person that you can be. Please don't let your thirst for attention and fame or whatever else you're seeking for let that tarnish who you really are on the inside, because we did get to see a sweet person, and I would hate for your ambition, if I can use that word loosely, to cloud your judgment and ruin actual genuine friendships that you're going to need when this whole thing is over with. I want you to move smart. I want you to really use this opportunity to grow, um, and stop doing dumbass shit. Period. Like, I have no ill feelings towards you. We had conversations about what happened during the season, and I want to be able to have a conversation with you and know that it's genuine, and not think that you have a tape recording in your back pocket, or not think that you can go back to production and say X, Y, and Z, or not do dumbass shit. So just be a genuine ass person and we might could be cool. But other than that, coming soon.
but that's it for the game.
I think that was sweet. I think that was nice.
that
You know.
I don't think you could have. I feel like that was the nicest way you could have put. Because let me tell you something. Alicia did not give him that much grace. Alicia
Well,
just.
you know why? Because Alicia didn't get a chance to see a part of the Hawkins that I did.
Oh, okay.
They when in their initial meeting, it was blows. I actually hung out with him. Like, I actually got to have a conversation with him and like get to know who I thought he was. So it just the camera really does change people, and people's thirst for attention and thirst for whatever they're seeking for really can really fuck up a person's morals and integrity. So I just hope that he gets it together.
Oof.
Okay,
Lord
well,
have mercy.
Jamar, you know what it's time for to do your closing statement. What you
Okay.
like to say?
So at the end, once everything is pretty much said and done at the interview, we like to ask, our guests, did you feel comfortable? Did you have a good time at the interview? Do you feel like, we did our job as hosts? Like, what would you say is your feedback?
I had a great time talking with you guys. It didn't even feel like I was on like a live. I felt like I was just talking with you guys. I love the fact that you guys asked inquisitive questions. I can't tell you how many interviews I've been on where people just ask me the dumbest shit, and I'm like, okay, like you clearly didn't do no homework. Um, and it's natural for you guys. So I had a really good time. I was comfortable. I will come back anytime. And that's Todrick. He's like, where you at? I will come back anytime. Um, and just keep going, keep pushing, keep moving. And when you're in those down moments and you don't feel like doing it, that's when you push the hardest, because that's typically when something's gonna happen. You only need one person to see it that can change your entire fucking life. That's all you need. And so, every day, every view, every person, even if it's 3 people, 10 people, like that's 3 more people you touch. That's 10 more people you touched. And those 10 people know 10 people, and those 10 people know 20 people, those 20 people know 100 people. So you just never know. And a lot of times, just because they're not viewing it, just because they're not commenting, that doesn't mean they don't see it. People are watching, and you don't know they're watching. So just keep it moving. You got it.
Listen, praise be to all the gospel that came from Jamaica mouth tonight. Okay, I hope y'all heard it. And
I
also,
know we heard it.
Scotty told me this. So it seems on Instagram, after the interview is over, I hope you had a good time. It said you have to follow me back on Instagram now. You're obligated.
Yes. Oh, I don't follow. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm so bad with that.
You follow Scotty, just not me. And I felt
Okay.
hurt when
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do
Jealous
that. I'm definitely gonna go do
ass
that.
bitch. Just
but
jealous
I
child.
know. I don't take it in. I just want to say, I just want to put
Well, you know what? I have to like be on the interview and like catch the vibe first before I like hit the follow button. So,
That's why I created the question to ask that question at the end, because I want to know if we may have just been going through this whole thing and made the person feel like they were fucked up, uncomfortable, because we
Right.
want to know, okay, so what can we do better for the next time? And thus far, we've
yeah,
gotten positive feedback, so that helps us be greater, do better content, for the next
yeah,
person. That's why that's always very, very important.
we love that.
But I mean, again, we thank you so much for coming onto the platform. Because
Yes, we do.
we thought we knew a lot about you, but you dropped a whole lot of shit
A whole lot of
yeah.
knowledge, as a
that we
matter of
would
fact.
never
It's
have
a lot of
known.
stuff.
Now,
Right.
Tajik, I
It's a
said
lot.
hi because me and Tajik have had all types of positive interactions with each other.
Oh,
So,
nice. That's good. He
he
about to
was,
stress me out. I already feel it.
well, that I do.
Not in a bad way. He's a very hard worker. Like, and so
I can
he
imagine.
pushes everyone around him to be on top of their shit. So yeah,
And that's how you grow. You need to keep people like that around so that you can
exactly,
always be on your, step in your pussy up. Don't get complacent.
exactly.
This bitch
Let
next
me
to you
get my
gonna
G wagon and buy a $10 million home with no label. Period.
I seen his pool, so I said, bitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever I'm so mad, I'm like interviewing and getting to know y'all after I've already left Los Angeles.
Everything
So
happens for a
next time I
reason.
come visit, we'll have to link.
Yes.
We'll definitely have to link. But yeah, we appreciate you so much for coming onto the platform.
Thank you guys. I have fun.
Yes, we do.
You,
Now I'm
you
finna go
guys have
lay
a good
my ass
night.
down.
Yes, please go.
All
Please
right.
go lay down.
Yes.
Friend.
But we love you. You're free to go. Everybody, y'all support Jeremy Copeland on all his social media. Rewind back and see what shows you can catch him on. And yeah, we'll just lift each other up as Black queer people.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
You too, baby. Thank you again so
Thank you
much.
for coming on.